Hey everyone, today I'm going to be battling with the deck I like to call Cruisin' USA. Did you ever play Cruisin' USA?
I did a lot, actually.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah, I went to arcades a lot when I was a kid, and that was the game that was always at the front, right when you walked in.
Yeah.
And they had that stupid song playing over and over again. Cruisin', hey.
Yeah.
USA, yeah.
That's what I'm going to be saying when I cast Treasure Cruise today. Let's go ahead and look at the deck. So
Treasure Cruise, he says.
Yeah. So the deck I like to call Cruisin' USA because it is red, white, and blue.
That's countryist.
It is.
Because there's so many countries that have red, white, and blue on their flag.
Are there?
And I'm just... Okay, I don't care.
Name 7. All right.
I don't know.
I can name 1. And then we have...
Sorry.
We have 3 Treasure Cruises, the new Khans of Tarkir card, which I'm hoping will be more Ancestral Recall and less...
Jace's Ingenuity?
Yeah, less Jace's Ingenuity, yeah.
Less flow of ideas.
So I guess we'll see how good that card is in this deck, but really this is just the blue-white-red control deck that's been around for a long time. I actually played a very similar shell to this, like, almost 2 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
It was not this past Modern season, but the one before that. The PTQ season for that. It was just a little over a year ago, I think.
Okay, yeah, maybe like a year and a little bit ago. I played a lot with this deck, and I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun and fairly powerful. And basically, the deck used to have Sphinx's Revelation, but I'm trying Treasure Cruise instead. And I feel like Revelation is like a very hit-or-miss type card.
Oh, yeah. I mean, whenever I saw, like, Glenn Jones was the advocate for this deck, and, for me, when he talked about the deck, he always thought the Sphinx Revelation was like a good in-game card, right? And I had to agree to an extent because in Modern, with this style of deck, you're going to be killing so many creatures. The games are going to go pretty long, so Sphinx's Revelation can usually draw about 3 to 5 cards and gain you some life. But I did notice that there were a lot of games where just to keep the the pressure on and keep drawing cards, it would get cast for like 2.
Yeah.
And it's not really impressive when you only draw 2 cards and gain 2 life and spend a whole turn doing it. And I think Treasure Cruise, like, turning into Ancestral Recall sometimes is going to be a game breaker. So.
Yeah, and a nice thing about Cruise, too, is, well, a lot of times with Revelation, even if you have it in your hand, you're oftentimes forced to interact with your opponent. Mm-hmm. With Treasure Cruise, you can hopefully draw 3 and then still interact, with a Cryptic Command or something like that, because you only cast it for 1 mana or 2 mana or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how good that card is. The rest of the deck is an enormous amount of removal spells, some mana leaks, some spell snares, Wrath of God, which I like more than Supreme Verdict because of cards like Thrun the Last Troll.
Yes, Thrun is a giant beating for control decks, and if you don't have Wrath of God, then you're just going to die to it. So.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of decks right now that are countering your Wraths, so I think Wrath is just a lot better. Mm. 4 Cryptics, and then we have 4 Snapcaster Mages to kind of tie all these cards together.
Yes, he does.
And the win condition usually is... When I played it last time, I only had 4 Colonnades as my only way to win the game.
That is ambitious,
it was a little ambitious.
I mean, I've seen a lot of games end with, like, Bolt, Snap Bolt, Helix, Electrolyte. Just like, all right, the game it's like 12 turns down the line. I'm just throwing it all at you now.
Yeah.
It's like, all my Colonnades are gone. You have to, like, start counting up how much burns left in your deck to see if you can actually kill them.
I actually played a Magic Online PTQ with this deck, and I killed 2 consecutive blue-white control opponents with 0 cards in my library. I had to exactly calculate what the last 3 cards were and hope they were in the right order to be able to pull it off.
That's awesome.
It was kind of loose, but now we have a Keranos and a Batterskull, so that hopefully things are a little easier for us.
Yep, got them 2 win conditions.
Yep.
This is going to be long, fun, grindy games.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I'm probably just going to concede on turn 4, like, most of the time.
Just can't win.
Yeah, all my guys are dead. What do you want?
All right. Well, let's look at the sideboard and see what we got there. All right, we are here back with the sideboard. A lot of 1-ofs and 2-ofs because we draw...
That's Modern.
Yeah. We have a lot of Silver Bolts against a variety of decks, and we're going to draw a lot of cards, so we probably will see some of them over the course of the game. Wear Tear for artifacts and enchantments, Affinity being a main one, and Gideon is just a great all-purpose card against various creature decks, where he really just puts a beating on them.
Yeah, I mean, I played a blue, white, red Stoneforge Mystic based deck back when 4-year extended was a thing.
Yep.
And I just had one Gideon Jura at the top end of my curve, and it was just almost always unbeatable when I cast it. Like, it goes up to 8 loyalty immediately, They have to attack it every time. It even counters like Splinter Twin for a turn. Which is awesome.
And it's usually very good against decks like Pod too, because they don't have usually enough creatures in play to kill him, and he can start picking their guys off too sometimes.
Yep.
A couple of Anger the Gods for decks like Birthing Pod or
Affinity 2.
Affinity 2. A Miser's Sowing Salt for mostly for Tron, but can come in some other matchups like the Mirror, for example, to get their Colonnades.
It's also good against Valakut decks too. Sometimes just taking away all their stomping grounds means that their Valakuts can't kill you anymore, which I love. But if they randomly open up with a Valakut on like turn 2 or 3 or something, and you just get to snipe it.
We also have Tectonic Edge too, so that you can like get all their stomping grounds and edge their steam vents, and then they can't kill you or something. A couple Stony Silences are fantastic against Affinity. Vendilion Click's going to come in matchups where cards like Electrolyze are not a thing, generally speaking. Relic for some graveyard hate. Relic Stony Silence is a bit of a nombo, but usually you don't bring them in the same matchup.
Right.
And I like Relic over Rest in Peace because we play Snapcaster Mage.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love Relic of Progenitus in general. Like being able to draw a card, and letting your lightning bolts be able to kill Tarmogoyf is awesome. The trick is you bolt the Tarmogoyf first, and then you use Relic of Progenitus to exile all the graveyards. So they don't have a window where they can cast a spell or crack a fetch land or something to make their Tarmogoyf big enough to not die to Lightning Bolt anymore.
Right.
So for those of you who play Relic of Progenitus and Lightning Bolt in the same deck, that's how you kill Tarmogoyf. So.
And then a Purge is mostly for Liliana of the Veil, which is a really hard card for this deck to deal with.
Yep.
I honestly really like Purge so much I kind of want a second one, but
I wouldn't mind it, but I would feel like you're moving a little too hate-filled towards my deck today if I saw a second Celestial Purge.
Yeah.
But the Staticaster takes the cake.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even want to play.
Staticaster, to be fair, I did build this deck before I saw yours.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just joking with you.
Staticaster is just fantastic against like a lot of different decks. Like,
I mean, this guy's been popping up in Legacy.
It has, yeah.
A lot of the Miracles players, Chiho Yem, I think even Reduke might have had one, or maybe he didn't. I actually didn't see his.
I know that Joe Lossett had one.
Joe Lossett, yeah. I played against him on Magic on the other day, and he played this against me when I was playing Infect, and I still almost won. He had Determinus it away because I was like attacking him for lethal, even with the Staticaster in play. But yeah, this card's great.
Yeah, it is. And then a couple counterflux for like the combo decks.
Yeah,
as just a way to counter something and not have to worry about them.
Yeah, Scape Shift decks are pretty bad for for the game's going super long. So like having a hard counter for that is great. So.
All right, well that is the sideboard. Let's get to battling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.